Hi everyone, welcome back. If you are new, please consider subscribing. My name is Yadi and I create educational content for beauty professionals in training and for those who like to continue learning. You guys find me on all social media platforms as Glam and beyond. In today's video, we are jumping in and doing a quick partial anatomy review. So use this as a study material to help you get through any testing you have coming up. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with a friend. If you're new, subscribe and let me know in the comments down below your thoughts. Now with that said, let's get started. The 5 accessory organs to the skin are hair, nails, sensory receptors, sebaceous glands, which are oil glands, and sudoriferous glands, which are sweat glands. The 5 main functions of the skeletal system are, number 1 will be support. It supports because it provides a structural framework for the body and supports the soft tissues and organs. Number 2, protection. Shields vital organs. For example, the skull protects the brain, the rib cage protects the heart and lungs. Number 3, movement. Works with muscles to produce movement. Bones act as levers and joints as pivot points. Number 4, mineral storage. Stores essential minerals, especially calcium and phosphorus, which can be released into the bloodstream as needed. Number 5, blood cell production occurs in the red bone marrow, producing red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. The adult skeleton has 206 bones that form a rigid framework to which the soft tissues and organs of the body are encased, an anchor point for muscles and ligaments to provide support for movement. Tendons connect muscles to bones. Tendons are strong, fibrous connective tissues. When muscles contract, they pull on the tendons, which move the bones. The bone tissue is composed of several types of bone cells embedded in a web of inorganic salts and collagenous fibers. The web gives the bone strength, and the fibers give the bone flexibility. Where bones meet, let's talk about it. A joint is a connection between 2 or more bones of the skeleton. There are 2 types of joints. A movable joint, for example, the knees, hips, and elbows, and immovable joint, such as the skull and pelvis, which allow little to no movement. The human head contains 22 bones divided into 2 groups, the cranium and the facial bones. Let's go over cranial bones. It has 8 bones. These protect the brain and form the cranial cavity. Frontal, 1 bone. Forehead and upper eye sockets. Parietal, 2 bones. Top and sides of the skull. Temporal, 2 bones. Sides near the ears. Occipital, 1 bone. Back and base of the skull. Sphenoid, 1 bone. Forms part of the base of the skull behind the eyes. Ethmoid, 1 bone. Forms part of the nasal cavity and eye sockets. Now let's go over the 14 facial bones. These bones form the face, support the teeth, and help with facial expressions. Let's go over them. Nasal, 2 bones, bridge of the nose. Lacrimal, 2 bones, inner corner of the eye. Zygomatic, 2 bones, cheekbones. Maxilla, 2 bones, forms the upper jaw. Palatine, 2 bones, support the rear part of the hard palate. Inferior nasal conge, 2 bones, supports the inside the nasal cavity. Next we have vomer, 1 bone, forms part of the nasal septum. And lastly we have the mandible, 1 bone, which forms the lower jaw, which is the only movable bone of the skull. Now let's go over the muscular system. It is critically important because it allows the body to move, function, and survive. Number 1, movement. Voluntary muscles, for example, skeletal muscles, allow us to move our body, walk, run, smile, talk, etc. Muscles pull on bones to create movement at joints. Number 2, it allows for posture and stability. Muscles help us maintain upright posture and keep the spine aligned. Core muscles stabilize the trunk during movement. Number 3, circulation. Cardiac muscle in the heart pumps blood throughout the body. Smooth muscle in blood vessels helps regulate blood pressure and flow. I hope you're still with me. Number 4, digestion and internal functions. Smooth muscles in the digestive tract move food through the system. Also, muscles help in functions like urination, breathing, and childbirth. Number 5, heat production. Muscles generate up to 85% of body heat through contractions, helping maintain body temperature, which is thermoregulation. Number 6, protection of organs. Muscles in the abdominal wall and pelvic floor help shield internal organs from injury. Number 7, communication and expression. Facial muscles allow us to express emotions. Muscles in the throat and mouth are necessary for speech and swallowing. The human body contains over 600 muscles, making up approximately 40% of body weight. Around 30 of these are facial muscles, which control expressions, speech, and movements like blinking and smiling. As estheticians, we work with skeletal or voluntary muscles. These are the muscles attached to bones and are controlled by thought process. Nerve impulses trigger a reaction from the muscle, which contracts, moving the bone or joint it is associated with. A skeletal or voluntary muscle has 3 parts. Number 1, the origin. The origin is the more fixed part of the muscle closest to the skeleton, which flexes but remains stationary. It does not move. Number 2, the belly. It is the middle part of the muscle. Number 3 would be the insertion. Is a part of a muscle that is the immovable attachment and farthest from the skeleton. Remember that pressure during massage is usually directed from the insertion to the origin. What are the muscles of the scalp? There are 4 muscles of the scalp: frontalis, occipitalis, and 2 temporalis on the sides. Frontalis is the scalp muscle that raises the eyebrows, draws the scalp forward, and causes wrinkles in the forehead. Epicranius, also known as the occipital frontalis, it is a broad muscle that covers the top of the skull. It has 2 parts, occipitalis and frontalis. Next, occipitalis. It is the back of the epicranius. It is the muscle that draws the scalp backward. Let's go over muscles of the eyebrow. We have corrugator location, deep muscle located beneath the frontalis and just above the orbicularis oculi at the inner end of the eyebrow near the glabella. Function: it draws the eyebrows downward and inward, creates vertical wrinkles between the eyebrows like when frowning or concentrating. Facial expression: again, frowning, when we show signs of worrying or when we're in deep thought. Corrugator. Next, we have orbicularis oculi. Where is it located? Well, it is the circular muscle surrounding the eye socket, like a donut around the eye. What's the function? Closes the eyelids, helps with blinking, squinting, and gentle eye closure. Assists in drainage of tears by compressing the lacrimal sac. Facial expressions: smiling, soft eye smile, squinting, and blinking. Next, we have the levator palpebrae superioris, location inside the orbit eye socket. This muscle originates at the back of the eye and inserts into the upper eyelid. Function: raises the upper eyelid, opens the eye. Facial expressions: wide eye, alert, and when we look surprised. Nerve supply: controlled by the ocular motor nerve, not the facial nerve like the others. Let's go over muscles of the nose. We have procerus, location: a small pyramidal shaped muscle that sits between the eyebrows over the bridge of the nose, extends from the nasal bone and upper part of the nasal cartilage upward into the skin of the forehead between the eyebrows. Function: pulls the skin between the eyebrows downward, helping to create horizontal wrinkles at the bridge of the nose, like when frowning or concentrating very hard. Next, we have nasalis. Is a two-part muscle that covers the nose and includes the transverse part and the alar part, which flare the nostrils. So the transverse part, which is the compressor nares, it is located across the bridge of the nose. The function is it compresses the nostrils, helping to narrow the nasal opening. Active when you're trying to block airflow or in certain breathing techniques. The alar part is located along the sides of the nostrils. Function: it flares the nostrils, increasing airflow, important during deep breathing, exertion, or expressing intense emotion. Muscles of the mouth. We have the buccinator, location: deep muscle of the cheek between the maxilla and mandible. Function: compresses the cheeks against the teeth, helps with chewing and keeping food between the molars, assists in blowing. Next, depressor anguli oris, location: from the mandible to the corners of the mouth. Function: pulls corners of the mouth downward. Next, mentalis, location: on the chin muscle that elevates the lower lip and raises and wrinkles the skin of the chin. Function: protrudes the lower lip. Orbicularis oris, location: circular muscle that surrounds the mouth. Function: closes the lips like a drawstring, puckers the lips for kissing or whistling, helps with articulation and controlling food intake. Next, we have levator anguli oris, location: runs from the maxilla, which is near the canine tooth, to the corner of the mouth. Function: elevates the corners of the mouth upward. Expression: smiling. Rhizorius, location: from the fascia over the cheek to the corners of the mouth. Function: pulls the corners of the mouth sideways. Expression: like when you're smirking or grinning. Levator labii superioris, location: runs from the lower edge of the orbit, which is just under the eye, down the upper lip. Function: raises the upper lip, helps expose the upper teeth. Zygomaticus major and minor. These two muscles work together to elevate and pull back the upper lip and corners of the mouth, creating joyful expressions like smiling or laughing. Zygomaticus major location extends from the zygomatic bone, which is the cheekbone, to the corners of the mouth. The zygomaticus minor location runs from the zygomatic bone to the upper lip just above the major. Now let's get into muscles of the neck. We have the platysma, a broad muscle extending from the chest and shoulder muscle to the side of the chin. Extends from the chest, shoulder area, which is the upper part of the pectoral and deltoid muscle, up to the lower jaw, mandible, and lower face. Function: tenses the skin of the neck, helps depress the mandible, lowers the jaw slightly, pulls down the corners of the mouth and lower lip, contributing to expressions of sadness, fear, or tension. Sternocleidomastoid, the muscle extending along the side of the neck from the ear to the collarbone. It acts to rotate the head from side to side and up and down. Hang in there, you're almost at the finish line for this partial anatomy review. Let's get into the muscles that attach the arms to the body and muscles of the shoulder and arm. Latissimus dorsi, large, flat, triangular muscle covering the lower back. Pectoralis major and minor, muscles of the chest that assist the swinging movement of the arm. Trapezius, muscle that covers the back of the neck and upper and middle region of the back, stabilizes the scapula and shrugs the shoulders. Biceps, muscle producing the contour of the front and inner side of the upper arm. Deltoid, large triangular muscle covering the shoulder joint that allows the arm to extend outward and to the side of the body. Triceps, large muscle that covers the entire back of the upper arm and extends the forearm. Let's go over a few more terms. Central nervous system consists of the brain, spinal cord, spinal nerves, and cranial nerves. Sensory nerves carry impulses or messages from the sense organ to the brain when sensations such as touch, cold, heat, sight, hearing, taste, smell, pain, and pressure are experienced. Sensory nerve endings called receptors are located close to the surface of the skin. Motor nerves, they carry impulses from the brain to the muscles or glands to transmit movement. Circulatory system, also known as the cardiovascular system, controls the steady circulation of the blood through the body by means of the heart and blood vessels. Lymphatic immune system, vital to the circulatory and immune system, it's made up of lymph nodes, thymus gland, spleen, and lymph vessels that act as an aid to the blood system. The lymphatic and immune system are closely connected as they protect the body from disease by developing resistance and destroying disease-causing microorganisms. Endocrine system, group of specialized glands that affect the growth, development, sexual activities, and health of the entire body. And lastly on this list, respiratory system, body system consisting of the lungs and air passages, enables breathing, which supplies the body with oxygen and eliminates carbon dioxide as a waste product. That concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to scan the QR code to connect with me beyond this platform. If you found the information helpful, don't forget to share it with a friend. Consider subscribing. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this video and if you found it helpful. You guys, with that being said, let's keep going, let's keep growing, and I'll see you on the next one.